I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So what I'm saying, I'm with it. So I'll be going for Bud.
I can retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame. He couldn't. Like everything that I've accomplished, he's still trying to accomplish.
Do you not think Spence will be in the Hall of Fame?
Right now? No, how?
Yeah, he's right, dude. He's right.
How? He fought in one division.
Never unified the belts.
He unified. He unified.
After a long silence, Errol Spence has finally called for a rematch with Terence Crawford. This comes after Crawford recently called Spence a substandard fighter. While it might be late for a rematch, Spence has decided to challenge the two-time undisputed champion after feeling disrespected multiple times.
I would never want to fight him coming off an accident like that. Because when I beat him, then y'all gonna say it was because of the accident.
Right.
He fight. He beat Danny Garcia. I was in the crowd. I said, nah, he can't beat me. That's the first time I seen Spence fight live. I said.
So you knew then when you seen that?
I'm like yeah, because it's different on TV than when you watching it up close in person.
He unified. He had three. He had the WBC,
he didn't unify all
WBA,
four. He wasn't
IBF.
undisputed.
Huh?
He wasn't undisputed.
He wasn't. No, but what I'm saying is, they already called him a weight bully, right? He beat Kell Brook coming off of a loss, an eye injury. He beat Sean Porter.
In all fairness, he had to go over there to get that.
Their first fight didn't go well for Spence. It actually hurt his reputation as a boxer. His poor performance that night is something fans still remember. Sadly, many in the boxing world now define Spence by that loss to Crawford. Recently, Spence called for a rematch on social media after seeing an interview where Crawford was asked if Spence deserved to be in the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Along my career, I've been criticized and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments just off of pure hate. So what would they be able to say with me going up 2 weight classes?
People say, oh, well, maybe it was the weight or whatever the case is. What do you think about that? Like, talking about the weight at 154?
Well, I wasn't worried about that. I felt stronger than him. I felt that I punched harder than him. I felt as if I hurt him many of times.
Unsurprisingly, Crawford disagreed, saying Spence wouldn't make the Hall of Fame if he retired now. This disrespect pushed Spence to respond online, saying, "The disrespect is getting crazy. We should probably run this back at this point."
Hold his head up. It's a learning experience. He just bounce back from it. It's about how you come back and how you show people that having young in your career and some.
That's a good win. Like I don't wanna sound like I'm hating on him or
I understand
things like that, but I honestly don't know if he make it to the Hall of Fame with the...
Spence hasn't fought since his 2023 loss to Crawford. His last public appearance was promoting a fight for one of the boxers signed to his promotion. Before their first fight, many thought Spence and Crawford were evenly matched. But Crawford dominated, giving Spence his first career loss. Spence's record now stands at 28-1, with 22 knockouts.
In the fight, but I just felt like, he came prepared and he was ready and he fought a good fight.
Yeah.
He was awkward, he was patient, he was determined, he stuck to his game plan, and he did what he had to do to make.
Errol Spence recently admitted on social media that the worst thing he ever did as an athlete was drinking. His post even got a response from Gervonta Davis, who fights tonight against Lamont Roach. Davis agreed, saying, "Worst thing I did to myself was drinking." If you're an athlete, focus on the end goal. Hopefully it leads to a better life for you and your loved ones. Aside from his loss to Crawford, Spence has had an impressive career. But after his last fight, critics have questioned whether he still has what it takes. Spence fired back on X, formerly Twitter, writing, "Some of y'all use 'he washed' too loosely. Post y'all mama so you can see what washed really is."
A lot of people say, oh, well, he's money hungry, he's looking at money and he's trying to cash out and this and that. I've been getting money for years. I've been getting money for years. And I'm not stupid with my money.
Right.
As you can see, I don't buy no Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and you know what I mean, walk around with 100 people around me and I got all this jewelry that I bought.
Before losing to Terence Crawford, Spence was the unified welterweight champion, holding the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles from 2017 to 2023. Even though he hasn't fought in nearly 2 years, Spence is only 34, and fans expect a big-name opponent for his return. Meanwhile, Crawford has stirred up controversy with his recent comments about Spence. Their 2023 fight was completely one-sided, with Crawford dominating Spence. Afterward, Spence had the option to trigger a rematch clause, but chose not to.
He got caught. He should have boxed a little bit more, but things happen. You gotta learn from it. Definitely, it was exciting. The whole build up to it and leading up to it too. So it's something that I wouldn't change for nothing, and I'm definitely open to the rematch, and hopefully it'll be at 154.
Spence was later in talks to fight Sebastian Fundora, the WBC and WBO super welterweight champion, but the fight never happened. The delays made many fans think Spence might never return to boxing. On the other hand, Crawford's career has soared. He's now set to face Canelo Alvarez in September. But before that mega fight, Crawford appeared on the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, where he claimed Spence hasn't done enough to deserve the Hall of Fame.
Has crazy power that he believes in, and has a great chin too, because he's a guy, he'll let you get out punches.
"I can retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame." He couldn't, Crawford said. "Everything I've accomplished, he's still trying to accomplish." He pointed out that Spence only fought in one division, unified 3 belts, and got criticized as a weight bully. While he acknowledged Spence's win over Sean Porter, Crawford didn't think it was enough for the Hall of Fame. Not everyone agrees with Crawford, though. Boxing trainer Kevin Cunningham argued, "In my opinion, Errol Spence Jr. has done enough, Olympian, 3 world titles at welterweight, and was top 4 pound for pound." Analyst Erickson Lubin also disagreed, saying, "No disrespect, but I don't think Crawford fought anyone either. Moving up weight classes and stopping 11 12th round fighters is what we should credit him for." Despite the debate, Crawford remains one of boxing's most decorated champions, with titles in 4 weight classes and undisputed status in 2. But his recent comments have definitely put him in the middle of a heated discussion.
If he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I'll definitely be going Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So if he can do it, he started at 147. So if he's doing it.
Terence Crawford delivered a brutal beatdown to Errol Spence in their long-awaited welterweight unification fight, cementing his place as boxing's undisputed king. The one-sided domination saw Crawford knock Spence down 3 times before the referee stopped the fight in the 9th round. From the 2nd round onward, Crawford's brilliance was undeniable. His power, precision, and ring IQ made an elite fighter like Spence look outmatched. The sold-out crowd at T-Mobile Arena watched in awe as Crawford, a slight betting favorite, made history by becoming the first undisputed welterweight champion in nearly 40 years. Crawford, a former champion at 135 and 140 pounds, achieved what no fighter had done since 1986, unifying all 4 major welterweight titles. His dynamic switch-hitting style and flawless counterpunching dismantled Spence, a 2012 Olympian known for his relentless pressure. But Spence's methodical approach was no match for Crawford's mastery.
Have a fish fry come Saturday. Man, you gotta calm down, brother. Cause listen, man, things can get real sticky real quick, and then everybody would say, this is what we do every time we come out. This is what we do when we come out.
Crawford floored Spence for the first time in his 29-fight career with a perfectly timed counter in the second round. "I only dreamed of being a world champion," Crawford said after the fight, extending his knockout streak to 11 straight wins. "I'm an overachiever. Nobody believed in me coming up, but I made them all believers." Spence started strong, using his jab and body shots to control the early rounds. But when he overcommitted with a missed right hand, Crawford made him pay, dropping him with a sharp counter. From that moment, the fight spiraled for Spence. By the fourth round, he was cut over his right eye, struggling with Crawford's speed and accuracy.
Got the confidence to come out there and just be like, okay, well, even the skills to say, all right, let me see how you gonna take a punch to the chin. Let me see how you gonna take a punch to the body. Let me see how you gonna react when you can't bully somebody around.
Good, I just finished the ball.
Okay, so my mind was, you know what I mean, you know, it was racing a little bit. And I was like, man, how should I come out? And it was like, man, just come out boxing.
Listen, just like you talking, just like you doing all that talking, bro, it can turn deadly real quick. But on both sides, so why not support, listen, why not support your fighter? Support your fighter.
He was just throwing the hard jab, Spence admitted. His timing was on point. It wasn't his speed or accuracy that surprised me. It was everything I expected, but he was just better. The punishment worsened in rounds 5 and 6, leaving Spence bloodied and battered. Crawford dropped him twice more in the 7th before finishing him in the 9th with a relentless assault. When the referee stepped in, Spence was defenseless, his legs wobbly from Crawford's unanswered blows. "It was a good stoppage," Crawford said. "I was about to land some big shots." The ref did his job, protecting the fighter. With this win, Crawford didn't just claim all the belts, he proved he's one of the greatest fighters of this era.
What's wrong with that? Support your fighter. Y'all support y'all fighter. Let's come together, make this event a success. Instead of everybody saying every time we get together, you know what I mean, it's always shooting and violence.
The numbers tell the story of Crawford's dominance. He landed an incredible 50.1% of his punches, 185 of 369, including a devastating 60.1% of his power shots, 98 of 163. In contrast, Spence managed just 20%, 96 of 480, with only 11.1% of his jabs, 33 of 296, finding their mark. A shocking stat for a fighter known for his jab. "We focused on taking away his jab. That's how he sets everything up," Crawford said after the fight. "Once we neutralized that, the rest was easy." A visibly disappointed Spence, suffering his first loss since the 2012 Olympics, admitted, "He was just better tonight. My timing was off, and his jab was perfect. No excuses. He was the better man."
The big question was, is he gonna come out orthodox? Is he gonna come out southpaw? I'm tripping because I was talking to one of your guys after the fight in the locker room, and he said, before y'all came out to fight, you looked at him and you looked at Shakur and you said, hey, what y'all think I should do?
Yeah, because in my mind, I want to fight. I want to fight. But given the circumstances that he haven't had nobody that's, you know what I mean.
The fight contract included a rematch clause, giving Spence 30 days to trigger it, though Crawford would decide whether it happens at 147 or 154 pounds. Spence, who has struggled to make welterweight, didn't hesitate when asked about a second fight. "We have to run it back," he said. "I'll be better next time. It'll be closer, maybe in December."
He should. He didn't do the things that his daddy told him to do. What are you talking about? Even his daddy said it. Even his daddy said it.
You butthurt that I got the
Even his daddy said it.
You butthurt.
Even Kell Brook, he was already broken.
So was he broken when you fought?
No, he wasn't broken.
How come
I broke the other eye.
He came off of.
I broke the other eye. Yeah, that's how I got broke. That's how I got broke.
He came off.
Their July 2023 clash at T-Mobile Arena was one of boxing's most anticipated fights in years. Spence, 28-0, WBA, WBC, IBF champ, and Crawford, 39-0 WBO champ, were seen as evenly matched, until Crawford's dominant ninth-round TKO proved otherwise. At the post-fight presser, Spence summed up Crawford's power in 4 blunt words. "He's a strong dude."
What does it matter?
He came off a stoppage and then he fought you
What does it matter?
months prior.
What does it matter?
So was he broken or not?
No, he
already
wasn't
had
broken.
messed
No, he
up
wasn't
eye.
broken.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What you talking about? I had the same surgery he had, and what happened? So what they say about you then? You fight me then?
I'm gonna break that eye.
So what they say? So
Spence elaborated on Crawford's edge. "I felt his power early. At this level, everyone hits hard. But with my timing off, he kept catching me clean." While Spence, still inactive since the loss, eyes a move to 150 lbs, possibly against Sebastian Fundora, Crawford pursues a super fight with Canelo Alvarez. One sparring partner who's faced both gave his prediction.
If this Canelo fight, if you're able to be successful and victorious, like, how important is it for you to be able to rank yourself amongst all the top guys that ever did this thing?
It'd be great. That's why you take the chance. This is by far the biggest opportunity, but the biggest risk that I ever took in my career.
Yeah.
And I understand what's at stake, and I understand the level of competition that I'm up against, and I be like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
So every time he say that, I just be like gradually getting into looking at it, okay. And he's not that big. He heavy, but he's not that big.
Right.
And I'm just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time, it started hitting me like, all right, man.
After months of speculation in early 2024 about a potential super fight between two of boxing's pound-for-pound best, talks seemed to fade as the year went on, leaving fans thinking the dream matchup might never happen. But recent rumors suggest the fight could be back on the table with both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford searching for opponents in 2025. If made, the historic clash would see Crawford, the current WBA super welterweight champ, jump up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight king. As for Crawford's long-delayed rematch with Errol Spence, that now seems like an afterthought, especially with the Canelo fight looming.
If Canelo become undisputed again, and I beat Canelo, what could they say? They'll say something, but what
they're gonna find something, that.
But what can they really say?
All right.
So that's the legacy fight right there for me. I'm not looking at, a lot of people say, oh, well, he's money hungry, I'm up against, and that what makes it great.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all the great fighters will want, because it's a high risk, high reward type of fight. You come out on top, look at everything that's gonna happen after that. You one of the top 5 fighters in the world ever, probably.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Where you rank it? Because I put that on Twitter. I said, if you beat Canelo.
Right now, Crawford has made it clear. Canelo is the only fight he wants. He's even admitted publicly that he might have retired if this mega fight didn't materialize. After waiting endlessly for Spence to activate their rematch clause, Crawford has moved on. For Spence, the smarter path forward might be a fresh start at super welterweight, taking on a tune-up fight to shake off the rust before chasing another title shot. That's all for now. For the latest breaking news, highlights, and in-depth boxing coverage, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.